Good afternoon. So, rather than having an official report on Brownsville, I propose we take a walk. Not really, but if we were to take the one train downtown, just for a little break from this amazing summit, if we were to switch to the 3, head into Brooklyn, go past the cutesy spots like Park Slope and Brooklyn Heights, go past the Barclays Center, go even further past Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, and keep on going on that 3 line, almost to the end, get off at Rockaway Ave. Well, you'd find yourself in Brownsville. This is a neighborhood that is touted for having the highest concentration of public housing in all of the US. A neighborhood that's known for having some of, or the highest violent crime rates in New York. But I'm not gonna talk about that. You can get that talk from someone else. What I wanna talk about is the Brownsville that I know, the Brownsville that I fell in love with, and the Brownsville that our late director, Greg Jackson, our fearless leader, showed me was possible. So getting off that train, well, you'd find yourself on the corner of Rockaway and Livonia. So if you can see in that beautiful hand-drawn map, there's that little star. Well, that's where you'd be. And right about this time, because we are rain or shine in Brownsville, right about this time, well, you'd see one of the Brownsville Partnership youth markets, a farm stand set up, managed, and run entirely by Brownsville youth. And although the Brownsville Partnership has 3 youth markets in Brownsville, our youth market on Rockaway and Livonia is our oldest. And last year, it boasted one of the highest WIC check and health bucks, which is a produce voucher given by the Department of Health. It was one of the highest WIC check and health bucks redemption spots in all of New York. So these youth markets are really meeting the true need for fresh produce that we find in Brownsville on a daily basis. But if you were to talk to the youth about why they work at the youth market and what they think about the youth market program, this partnership with Grow NYC, well, to be honest, you wouldn't really hear a lot about their desire to improve chronic disease indicators in Brownsville. No, what you'd hear from them, and what I've heard each and every one of them say in their interview for this coveted job, is, I want to be a part of something positive. I want to stay out of trouble. I just want to improve my neighborhood. You know, I saw this on the corner last summer, and I just wanted to figure out how to get involved. So if you were to leave the youth market and keep on walking north, you can see on that little arrow, if you were to take a right on Dumont Avenue, well, there you'd see the beginnings of a community walking trail, straight through a NYCHA development, Brownsville Houses to be exact. Forget about Department of Health telling Brownsville residents to make New York City your gym. No, we at the Brownsville Partnership, well, we got residents to tell each other what they do to live healthier in Brownsville. We got residents to tell each other their steps to a healthier Brownsville. And these are just some pictures of the trail. I love the one on the upper right-hand corner because that was right when we had installed those banners and we had kind of opened up the walking trail, and that little kid was like, I am just gonna bike down this trail. So if you were to leave this trail, actually, and keep on walking north, actually, if you were just to keep on walking on that street and take a right on Mother Gaston, if you happen to come on a Wednesday, you may just see the Brownsville Partnership's Walk the Ville walking group. They would be finishing up their warm-ups, and they would be getting ready for their walk around Brownsville. And the one thing I forgot to mention is that this walking group consists entirely of seniors. The average is usually about 50 seniors per week. This week we had about 65, but the average is usually 50. And what these seniors do is that they will pick a park in Brownsville and they will just take it back. We will play music, we will have walking relays. A couple weeks ago we just did the electric slide in the park. And these will be parks that people will normally not want to be walking through. A good number of these seniors, they'll be using walkers and canes and even wheelchairs to get to those parks. And they'll just go at their own speed in their own way. And I remember a couple weeks ago when we actually did this walk, there was a senior that was walking with me and she said, you know what? She looked up and she said, I never noticed that tree. And the picture on the lower right-hand corner is the tree that she was talking about. So anyways, if you were to keep on walking south, you will see the late Greg Jackson's Brownsville Recreation Center, a safe haven for young people in Brownsville. And not only that, but the recreation center is where the Brownsville Partnership meets for our fall bike rides with the Brownsville residents and the District Public Health Office of Brooklyn. And it's also where Brownsville residents meet with the Department of Transportation for their community bike planning meetings. Meetings to carry the plan forward of solid bike infrastructure in the neighborhood by 2013. This was a request that was submitted by a Brownsville resident that mentioned that all she wanted to do was bike to Prospect Park safely. So I took you all on this walk to show you the other side of Brownsville, the Brownsville that you don't always hear about. At the Brownsville Partnership, we place urban planning, urban development, and visible neighborhood change at the forefront of our health work. These spots that I've highlighted in Brownsville, yes, they focus on active living and healthy eating, but these are all spaces that are activated by residents for residents. And this is no different than what our dear friend Jane Jacobs said. In Death and Life of Great American Cities, she said that cities have the capability of providing something for everybody only because and only when they are created by everybody. And this is no different than what our Brownsville's beloved Greg Jackson would say and do. Greg Jackson was a lifetime resident, advocate, and educator of Brownsville. He was and continues to be the mayor of Brownsville, and he was the founding director of the Brownsville Partnership. And I know that if Greg were still with us, MAS probably would have asked him to deliver this talk, not me. And so last night I was kind of thinking, what would he actually say to you all? You guys who are the leading change makers and thinkers in this city. He would probably say, let's take a walk. Why don't you guys come to Brownsville? And he would show you what this amazing neighborhood of organizers and mobilizers, of young people and seniors and families are doing to make a difference. So I invite each and every one of you to come to Brownsville and learn from residents about what they are doing to move Greg's vision of a safer, healthier, more prosperous Brownsville forward. And for those of you that are hoping to be mayor in this room, a quick story. I always like to keep something that reminds me of Greg every day with me. And sometimes it's the statement that Mayor Bloomberg put together the eve of his death. Sometimes it's the New York Times obituary. But recently, it's been the button that I'm wearing right now. And it says, "Who are you going to help today?" And this comes from a story that Greg always used to say. He was actually raised by his grandmother, and his grandmother used to wake him up every day and say, "Who are you going to help today?" And so for the one that finds yourself in Gracie Mansion, I will tell you, I want you to wake up every day and think, how are you going to help Brownsville today? And if you don't know, take the train, switch to the 3, get off at Rockaway, give me a call, we'll take a walk, and the answers are all there. Thank you.